Hi, welcome. Welcome to Microknowledge Learning Emporium. So in this particular exercise, what we were asked to do was to add buildings from Marion Island and edit some terrain. So I've actually taken away two buildings on this island. Unfortunately, these buildings were made piece by piece, so it took me quite a time to do it, but I thought I'd give you a tour. So I took away the observatory because on my university, in my case, I do business development, business productivity tools, so I really don't need an observatory. So I got rid of that and I left a huge gaping hole in my island. Now, this was all concrete, there was a building here and so forth, but what I wanted to do was actually kind of get some land. So there was water and I took away the water. As you can probably see, there are fish floating without water, and I've yet to figure out how to get rid of them except individually, and I really just wasn't in the mood to get rid of them individually. So I don't know if I'll fill it in with water again once I put a building there to show you that I can, or if I will simply get rid of the fish one by one, but we will find out. But this is one area, this is the observatory, and then I'm going to actually fly over to what was the lighthouse. And that's actually where I'm going to do some terrain editing. I'm going to fly through a tree here. So this particular area over here was the lighthouse. So as you can see, I actually have done some work here too. I took away the concrete. I'm going to stop flying here. I took away the concrete. I left this terrain that was underneath. I left the concrete barrier walls. I added some stairs so that we could connect to the next level. Now these stairs were stairs that I had taken from either this island or Marion Island, but I had taken the stairs and I added these potted plants from another place that I was visiting. Actually, that might have been my garden world that I imported for the last exercise. So what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd play with some of the terrain here. Kind of give myself a little sandbox. Now there are several things I wanted to do. I kind of want to leave this flat because I want to put my building on it. But I do have some spots over here that I wanted to maybe smooth out a little bit, raise up a little bit, so I figured I would do that. So I'm going to right click on this terrain here and choose to edit the terrain. I'll move this into my window there. So what I want to do, I might want to raise just a little bit, tiny amount. This particular piece right here, let's see if I can get it. Now I'm raising it because what I want to eventually do is smooth it out. Alright, so now that I raised it, I'm going to click on Smooth. And let's see if I can smooth it out without keeping it all dimply. Alright, I have a little bit of a hole there. I'm not quite sure how to smooth that out. So I could probably continue doing this for a while. Let's see if I can flatten it. I just don't want those dimples there, but it's hard to get rid of them. That piece worked well. So I might have to do that. I may have to keep going back and forth to raise and lower and things like that. So if I actually wanted to make some adjustments on this land, so I can go into my Edit Terrain, go to the About Land. Actually, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to Great. So I'm going to change some of the textures of the land. So I'm going to go into World and go to Region Details. And I'm going to move this into View, and I'm going to click on Terrain. And I have some pretty simple textures here. This is terrain grass. I could make it terrain dirt. If I choose OK, I'm not quite sure what I affected. I can go back here, make that terrain grass again. Choose OK. Let me see if I can change this one. All right, let me see if I can make this one terrain dirt. I keep forgetting you have to choose Apply. Okay, so you can see that I've done that. I'm going to choose OK, and I can move around, and you can see I made this all dirt. Now, chances are I probably didn't want to do that. I have a pretty large island, and I didn't want to affect other parts of my island. I don't know if I can actually see other parts and what I've actually done. Probably not from here. Although I see a lot of dirt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that back. So I'm going to click on the World option, go back to Region Details, go back to Terrain. I'll click on this option here. I could make it terrain grass. That's better. And I don't actually remember what it was. So I will stick with terrain grass. I don't remember what it was. So at least now everything is grass. I'm going to move this out of my way. And now I can go back to, I could always lay out some landscaping things and so forth. And now I can go back to adding my building. So I'm going to add a building here. There were a few buildings I took from Marion Island. And I think the one I want to add is the Gothic building. So I want to move away. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly just so I can kind of control it a little bit. All right, so I'm going to go into my inventory. I'm going to go to Recent, and recently I took I do have a building. Well, actually, let me go to Inventory and type Building. All right, so I have several buildings. So I took the Gothic building and the Store with Awning building. Apparently I took the Gothic building a few times. I'm going to delete additional buildings. I took a few things a few times, not realizing. And I think what I want is I'm going to put the Gothic building here. All right, so chances are I'm going to have to move that. So I'm going to try to see where that ended up. No, it's not too bad. All right. So I'm going to edit that. I'm going to move that. I think I want to move it over. And I think I just want to move it back a little bit. Perfect. Now, it's hard to tell. It looks like it's in a good spot, but honestly, unless I fly over it, I'm probably never going to know. Oh, that's probably in a good position. Looks like it's in a good position, so I think I'll keep it there. I'm just going to fly around one more time so I can kind of see it. I'll go further away. Oh, it's in a fine spot, although it looks like it's a little bit crooked. So let's see if I can edit that again. I'm going to see if I can rotate it. It's a little bit tricky to do. I've tried to. Okay, good. All right, so I added that building there, and I think what I'll do, press escape here, click, and I think what I'll do is now go down into my other area. And I think I'll add, I have a little grass area, and I think I'll add a building here. So you can see this grassy area. I'm going to go to my inventory, and I think I want the garden set. Well, I did a store. I guess I'll put the store there. I'm trying to think of what I took from Marion Island. Okay, so there is a store, and that needs to be rotated as well. So I'm going to rotate that. All right, so as you can see, I was able to rotate that. And there you have it. I have a store in what used to be a big water hole, and I have, I'm going to fly again up to it, and I have a nice building over on the other side where I used to have a lighthouse. So I do like the other building. I may in fact keep that. And we'll see. Maybe next time I'll have some landscaping for you and things of that nature. So thanks for visiting. I appreciate you taking the time. Until next time.